All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope all is well. It's been a long time since I have done this. So I appreciate the opportunity to start back. I am very rusty and my stuff is everywhere, and we're gonna work through this. However, let's get started with what we're gonna talk about tonight. So this is an initiative that's been on my heart since April of last year, and for whatever reason, I did not take action immediately, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started this year with it. It's 2026. It's time for action. It's time to be an impact. It's trying to be a positive impact, and we all need some kind of group to assist us every once in a while with what we have in life. I went through some trials and tribulation in my lifetime. I wish I had older gentlemen that was around me telling me these things before I went through it so I can be proactive. And the best example I could say before I get started and jump right in, is that my father, right? It's a couple health issues that he has already had, did not tell me about them. And then later on in life, I have surgery or procedures done. And then I tell him about it. He said, yes, I had that done before. Now, imagine if he would have gave me a heads up, told me it worked, it didn't work, gave me his insight. That is information to go off of. Not saying that everybody information is great, not saying everybody information is accurate. I'm just saying that by having the information, then I can have a better choice of make a better choice or decision whenever I make that endeavor happens, right? So that's the whole purpose of brotherhood. So brotherhood, I'm gonna get more into it. I want to get ahead of myself, but for the most part, what we're talking about is a community. You're more than welcome to go to Facebook. And I do have a Facebook account called Blog Brotherhood Leadership Opportunity Growth. It's about impact, about brothers sticking together, talking about some things that we all need to talk about, need to hear and grow. I'm gonna get more into it over the course of time as we go over everything, but that's my first slide, and I'm gonna go ahead and transition to what we need to talk about. So, good evening, family, everywhere and everybody on this call, on a replay, live. I want to welcome you to the first ever official blog community presentation. This isn't just content, y'all. This is a conversation most men never got. Not tonight. We're not talking about success yet. We're not talking about money yet. We're not talking about leadership. We're we're talking about what comes before all that. We're talking about how brotherhood can help us out. It's not just a word, it's a structure, it's responsibility, it's standard, right? So whenever we're talking about this stuff, I had to citate, I want to cite citation. I want to cite certain people that I've listened to, I read by me being in the military. I had to read certain books by me being a school teacher, by me being in so many leadership positions. I just love to read about leadership. So you can read the slide, Brotherhood, Leadership Opportunity, Growth. Right now, we only focus on the brotherhood part, but I'm going to dive deeper into all this. I do like the saying that I have right here. Why is this the order that we using? That is a good question to ask, right? Why this order? Well, blog is very intentional, because leadership without brotherhood collapse under pressure. Opportunity without leadership gets wasted. Growth without structure turns into confusion. The mirrors what it, this mirrors what leadership research let leaders eat last explains. People do not follow titles, they follow trust, safety, and responsibilities. Brotherhood is soil, leadership grows from it. So we have a foundation and we're gonna grow up and out from it, and that's what we're all about, right? So one of the scriptures that we can talk about whenever we talk about this subject, that supports what we're saying is, whosoever wants to become great among you must be your servant. Leaders begin with responsibility to others, right? Um, I've been coaching sports for quite a while. And the one thing I can honestly say is that in every endeavor I've been in dealing with people, people want someone to put in the effort to assist them, help them, guide them, and then they'll follow you so you can lead them. So the core problem facing with men right now, men are facing pressure without preparation. Just like I said, I had surgery on my sinus canals. My dad had that same surgery. Never told me that until after I had it. 3 months of relief, and I'm back hacking like crazy. The cold weather, actually, I love it, all right, because the cold weather kind of subdue that sinus issues and it keep me from hacking all the time. I just really hate doing it, right? Psychologists, well, I'm doing further than I need to go further again. All right, responsibility without guidance, identifying without instruction, identity without instruction. So many times we got people out there wearing their pants so far below their butt is ridiculous. But no, they don't have no guidance. They just doing what they see other folks do. No one is showing them how to do it. And many folks that lead by example ain't going out there and lead by example in their communities. So they're doing what they see in their communities. So we all need to have this kind of concept that we want to each one teach one, give back. That's why I want to gather myself around older gentlemen that has been there before, have experienced things I haven't experienced, know what's probably going to come, and can kind of give me heads up. It's just a mentorship program. They give us the heads up because a 19-year-old or 20-year-old do not see what a 60 and 70-year-old cannot relate to a 60 and 70-year-old, but can relate to a 30 or 40-year-old better. Then, hey, we learn a lesson from them, and in return, we teach us the younger group of men that coming behind us. It's like a rites of passage almost, and we always need it. I honestly feel like isolation is sometimes warrant, but it's not all time. It's not all time. It's not all the time the answer for everyone. We need to be among each other. We need to be around like-minded people. One of the things my father used to say, the old people used to say, is that if you hang around a pig pen, you get slop on you. Right. And I know we all heard birds of a feather fly together, right? This is what we're trying to combine. We're trying to combine like-minded gentlemen together to mentor other gentlemen so they can become like-minded and wise. I think a long time ago, I decided to be a Mason. As a kid, you always seen these guys in black suits, and it seemed like they was always about their business. So when I grew up, I always wanted to be one based off of what I saw as a kid, a child, a young adult, right? An adolescence. So this is what we're trying to grow and inspire other folks to be. Confusion about manhood. I've went through so much relationship wise that if a person just listen to what I'm saying without any judgment, they can glean a lot from my story. Just as Joe, just as Dexter, just as Marcus, just as Nicholas, just as Leon, just as any name I name, they all went through something. And from being going through something, they have opportunity to help someone else out. So that's our goal. We want to just help as many people out. Now, this slide, I almost got ahead of myself. Psychology, right? We got two young men on there that have explored things that dealing with groups of people wanting to belong to a community and the fundamental needs of people. And since we're talking about the fundamental needs of people, ancient culture confirms already, and they already know that the need to belong, right? Roy Baumeister, and Mark Leary prove that belonging is a fundamental need, not a preference, right? When brotherhood is missing, men lose accountability, emotional regulations, identity stability, and direction. That's why isolation often shows up as anger, burnout, addictions, or emotional shutdowns. So the scripture that I have to support this is two are better than one. If either fails, then If either fails, one can help the others up. Men don't break because they are weak. They break because they're alone, right? This reminds me of when you build a house in my mind. This is off the top of my head. When you build a house, you don't build a house with um one 2x4 over here, one over here in the four corners, and then you just put walls up. You have to have many 2x4s in between. You have to have some support to hold that wall up. So the more men, the more people, the more brothers that we have that combine efforts, then we'll have a unique situation where each one teaching one, each one supporting one, and people are moving at a faster, stronger pace than before. Right. This is more about brotherhood, is not about friendship, right? Friendship is optional, it's convenience, it's emotional, right? But brotherhood about being obligated to someone, being obligated to a group, being obligated to help, support, and nurture, and guide, and mentor, and coach, and just be that significant person to make a difference. A lot of times I went through some things and I had to sit down with brothers and just tell them what was going on in my heart so that I won't, what I can hear them say that, you know what, I've been there before. You know what, I ain't been there before, but I know somebody been there for, right? And then when I do things dead wrong, you need a brother to correct you and put you back on path, right? Iron sharpen iron. That's the best way we can see it. So one man sharpens another. Proverbs 27:17, right? This is what we're trying to create. This is what we want to create. This is what we all about. More to follow. Now, I brought up ancient culture back in the past, right? And we're going to talk about a little bit about the African ancient culture, right? Tribal societies raise boys collectively. They don't raise them one at a time. Everybody is trying to assist with raising their kid. It take a village to raise. They belong to a village, and every parent in that village can help. Any man can correct them. Any elders can mentor them. If a boy fails, the community fails in responsibility. If we all look at this world as it's our responsibility to work with others, it's our responsibility to teach this person. I talked about the sagging pants, which is going on as a, I don't know why. I don't know why. I did it as a young man, but not the way they doing it. But this the sad part about it is I'm seeing 60 and 70-year-old mans walking down the street sagging or in stores sagging. I'm seeing 40 and 50-year-old men sagging, acting like just like a child. And you would think that over time they grew up. You think over time they learned better, they doing better. Unfortunately, somebody haven't pulled them right and corrected them and told them this is not what we should be displaying for our children, right? Our kids, our legacy. So we're in the legacy building thing. The elementary forms of religious life explains this as a moral responsibility enforced by communities. Scripture that echoes this is train up a child in the way we should go, right? In the way he should go. Training implies intentions, not abandonment. There was a time when a boy's failure wasn't a surprise, it was a responsibility. Let's pick up the pace, guys. Let's get there. Let's go back to what it used to be and let's start holding folks accountable. A rite of passage marked responsibility. Manhood was not based on the age. Guys, I talked to some fifth graders today at elementary school. And I explained that as you move to sixth grade, for whatever reason, parents have this ridiculous idea, shall I say, that, oh, you're in middle school now, you growed up. You should act like a grown up. You should act older, act your age, not your shoes, all this stuff. Listen, age does not determine your growth. That's why we got 70-year-old fools, 80-year-old fools, 60-year-old fools. They are still childish in the mind and they cannot operate better than that because they have not had the mentorship, they had not had the corrective actions that someone told them that that is not the way you should behave. So age keep going, days keep moving, years keep passing. Their mentality has not changed. They stay the same. So accountability is a must, and we must hold people accountable. Historians, they're scarce, and the profound explains that rites of passage create clear identity transitions, right? Scripture agrees. When a child, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. When I became a man, I put childish things away. That didn't come with age, that came with time and experience and with opportunities to grow. So when people don't have those opportunities, to grow and they don't have anybody around to correct them, they stay with those childish ways. Ancient culture removes Confucius. Modern cultures leave me in guessing. So many times we're guessing instead of someone aiding us through the process. And that's what I'm trying to develop in this group. Someone helping us with a rite of passage, someone helping us with responsibilities, someone holding us accountable, someone you can call on when you're frustrated, when you're angry, when things go wrong at work, when things go wrong in a relationship, when things go wrong with your children, when things go wrong in your mind, in your settings, in just your atmosphere, in your zone, in your climate. When things go wrong, who can you call on? Who can you talk to? Who can assist you? Who can guide you? Who can talk you off the ledge? Who can bring you back to reality? Right? And we supposed to have elders, which are living libraries, assisting you with this path. They should be teaching you how to control your anger, how to choose your path, or your partners, how to lead without ego, how to recover without failure, right? Without recover from failure, I'm sorry. Develop psychologist's identity. Youth in crisis show that identity forms through guided roles, not isolation. So many times nowadays, when I was growing up, then shall I say, not nowadays, um, I went to church. I went to Sunday school. I went to vacation Bible school. I attended middle school, elementary school, middle school, high school, and I had several teachers. Let's say elementary. Out of all the teachers I mostly had was one male PE teacher, maybe a math teacher, maybe a science teacher. So altogether, if I have five classes as a second grader, I may have one male teacher. I have maybe three female teachers. My core classes teacher, my art teacher, and my music teacher, all females. PE teacher, male. So who's training me on how to be a man? I only have one male PE teacher, and all the rest are females. When I go to Sunday school, the Sunday school teacher is a female. When I go to vacation Bible school, the vacation Bible school teacher is a female. The females running all sections of vacation Bible school. However, the pastor get up or the minister get up or the spiritual leader of that flock get up only to give the word at the end, to do a reflection, but all through the classes, all through the activities, all through the picnics or what have you that we have, it's all female ran. So who's telling me how to be a man? Who's showing me what a man should be? Who's telling me what I should not and shouldn't do? And all these women have different definition on what it takes for to be a man. None of them have the same. Right? So we have to find a better way for men to start training these young men to help them be better men. Now, this group right here is for 19 and above. It's not for the younger people. I do have a mentoring group. I hope to start at my school. It's called Lions Lead, Leaders in Our Nation. This is my way of trying to help young adolescents or young adults to teach, learn. Because they in high school, they think they're adults. I just call them young adults to try to put them on their next path. Because next, after they graduate, we're gonna consider them adults. So right now we're gonna say young, right? We're trying to educate your mind, change that thing. That's a rite of passage, and give you that idea and that concept. Older men are to teach what is good. A generation without elders become a generation without directions. Let's guide people. Let's find out how do you fit in that piece of pie. and let's keep on people. Let's move people farther. So adult pressure without adult preparation, right? So we want to prepare these young people for more. We want to provide them with wisdom. We want to tell them about what happens when they make certain decisions, and not the ones that say, "Oh, you're gonna go to jail if you do this. Oh, you're gonna this gonna happen if you do that." We're talking more about, hey, listen, when she get loud and yell at you, that's not her being mad at you. She's frustrated about something else. It's always something underneath what she's saying out loud. We have to teach them that, hey, logic is not going to work when she's irate. We got to teach her that, hey, when she's going crazy, when she's yelling, when she's fussing, when she's talking, it's sometimes good to just listen and say, I hear what you're saying. I may have to get back with you on that. I hear what you're saying, but you're yelling so loud, I can't understand what you're saying. If you can just try to use your words and not use your throat so loud, maybe we can get somewhere, right? Something of that nature, depending on who you're talking to. Then you can also say that, baby, unfortunately, if you're going to yell at me, I'm not going to yell back. So you're going to be yelling by yourself until you're ready to talk to me. And I appreciate when you start doing that as soon as possible, right? That's a different way of yelling back and she yelling, you yelling. No, I've been there, done that. Since I've been to this point, it's like, I see you very mad. I see you upset. Let's take a chill pill and come back when we can talk a little bit better. If she keep yelling, you can just either listen to her yell and say, you burning your energy, just listen. Right. So it's different ways of training. And guess what? That's what I would do. But maybe somebody else would do something different. And somebody else will do something different. And somebody else do something different. But if one person heard all these different men say what they're doing, then that one person can evaluate this person been married 40 years. This person been married less than a year. This person ain't never been married. So which one you want to listen to? This person been married 40 years. This person ain't been married at all, but have several children. Or this person that been married for less than a year, but it seemed like their family is doing right and everything going well. So just think about that in the future so that we can have these conversations and we can talk about what you want to talk about. So this brotherhood about um, men repeat avoidable mistakes, right? We want to teach them to how to avoid mistakes because we're helping them not to go through the road that we went through. We want to guide them on the right path. And we can do this, right? We can do this. So modern reality in the workplace, right? The workplace is very interesting now. You have people as young as 20 some years old and as old as 80, 90 years old. That's a lot of generations in one workplace. I forgot the psychologists that talk about the psychologists that talk about this. I know that Daryl, dang, I just mine just went blank. But he talked about this one of the mentors I listen to over my audiobooks and some of the stuff I have downloaded. And he talks about this in length about how so many generation in workspace, you cannot talk to everybody the same. You cannot say the same words to one person they say to another one because they all relate them different and they take them in different. Man, his name Darren Hardy. Darren Hardy. Darren Hardy. All right, gotcha. So, a young black man gets hired. He's talented, but nobody teaches the unwritten rules, right? He got all these skill sets and he understands a lot of things. He's very smart. He just came from college, graduated top of his class, but he's rude, he obnoxious. He don't know the culture. He don't understand how to just go through a meeting without getting emotionally disturbed. Go through a meeting without saying something inappropriate that causes him to be marked for as long as he had that job, right? So it just helps when a brotherhood can provide career directions and put a person on path to be on the right job earlier, give advice on the right suggestions. My son, he went to welding, and My dad did welding, but instead of him having a conversation with my pops or a conversation with me, let him know that was what he wanted to do before he signed up for it, then my father could have gave him so much more of a heads up. And if you had told me, I probably would have found some more people other than my father because I don't want my father to be biased and just say his point. I'd rather give him like two or three people to speak to so they can hit their points. And you got a better idea. So he got in, got a couple injuries, got out quickly. His wife wasn't having that. So your reputation protection, right? Keeping you from messing your name up, keeping you from job hopping. If you talk to the right people, they can put you on a path to keep you from trying to figure it out while you're working. So plans fails for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. And we want that to happen. We want talent to get hired and brotherhood to keep you employed. So we want that type of stuff. We're gonna talk more about this, all this in depth over time. We have a whole schedule laid out for our participants, and we definitely want all of you to be involved. We want folks to know about us. We want people to hear about us. We want people to share this information with other people. And I get better. I'm rusty at this right now. I'm looking at three screens right now, but I'm rusty and I will get better at doing what I do. All right. So I got ahead of myself and I talk about relationships and emotional regulations. Many men were never taught how to regulate their emotions. Regulate your emotions. Real men don't cry. Real men don't do this. Hey, real men just open the door for women. Real men, pay all the bills. You're a man if you pay all the bills. All this stuff, right? Relationships research shows unmanaged conflict predicts failure. Brotherhoods provide accountability, emotional discipline, and repairs instead of reactions. Man, if somebody told me some of the things that I know now. I had to download several books on masculinity to understand what I was doing wrong. So be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger. Right? James 1:19. A real brother doesn't let you destroy something good with unhealed habits. It's so many people out here that just have some problems that happen with their children and they never changed anything. They never got better from it. They stayed in that scenario. Many men become fathers without a blueprint. Research consistently shows engaged fathers improve child outcomes. They're aligned with tribes where jungle explain men thrives when they feel needed and responsible, right? Father, do not provoke your children, but bring them up in discipline and instruction. You shouldn't have to learn fatherhood through irreversible mistakes. We shouldn't always try to repair something after we screwed it up. It'd be so much helpful if we had someone helping us through the process. We don't want nobody repeating any cycles that does not provide guidance for them. We need folks to assist us to be stronger, smarter, faster, quicker in action than delayed, sitting home, scared, thinking about what's going to happen if I do this, then what's going to happen if I do that. If you hear the other folks, they can prevent you from thinking about that. Men health and stress, right? We'll talk a lot more about that with the growth part, personal growth and the growth part, right? We need to work out. We have to work out. These muscles and everything aches if you don't, and they're only gonna get tighter and tighter and tighter. The more you move, the more your body and blood circulate, right? So men often say, I'm good while breaking, right? Their social connection activates the same brain regions as physical safety. So carrying one another burdens. Brotherhood doesn't remove stress. It keeps stress from removing you, right? We don't want you to die from heart attacks, and other problems. So we're just looking for ways to be responsible and help folks, right? Um, if you isolated and going through things, that's how folks end up having a heart attack and being on the floor for 3 or 4 days before getting discovered, and they could have been prevented, right? Early preventions help. We have to intervene to help men with these situations before they happen. And that's all I'm trying to do is create a group of accountability where we do these things. Um, Identity and manhood. When manhood isn't defined, culture define it for you. Eric Erickson, right? Work and belonging research shows identity stabilizes through community and standards. Again, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Brotherhood help you name yourself on purpose. That's right. His purpose is to grow. We want to grow in character, in discipline, in service. We want to be there for each other. We want to define what right look like together. And we want to hold each other accountable to make sure that everyone around us understand the concept, right? I am your founding member. I am the guy that's behind the path that's saying, hey, it's time for a change. It's so many people out here. Man search for meaning provides that purpose allows men to endure suffering without breaking, bear one enough burdens, and so fulfill the laws. Yeah, we want to share. We want to rise together. I've been around for a long time and I've been through a lot of different situations that I promise you that a young man should be able to listen to me and learn from and grow from it. We want to show meaning. We want to be responsible. We want to sacrifice our times so that someone else can be better in the future. I say this to my cadets all the time. If I tell you about this now and I'm just learning this now, look how much farther you're going to be from learning it now at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. I'm in my 40s and I'm teaching you something that I'm learning now, right? So it's a spiritual connection, not just a social call. And we really, really, really want more of you to help us out to grow this and to be a part of this and to help us be focused. So please share this with anyone that you think need to be in a group that want to hear about it. All right. I'm gonna get more in detail about what that look like. But structure, accountability, and purpose, processes of manhood, and not repeating the cycle that we already went through. And that's what we don't want anyone to go through. Um, in February, we're gonna talk about leadership. All right, the second Tuesday, and that in in February, I'm gonna do a brief on leadership. I'm gonna provide some information, some books, some other psychologists' names, and you can do your own homework. And then 2 weeks, we'll have a group discussion where we all come to the table and just have a all out Zoom call and have a conversation about it and talk about it more in depth. But Brotherhood always produced leaders, right? It produced leadership, not titles, not egos, but but responsibility. We join organizations all the time and we get tied up with the title. Am I the Worship Master? Am I the junior deacon? Am I the senior warden? Am I the, what title am I holding? Am I the vice? Am I the uh, bachelor's? Right? All these different titles. We need to get to a point where this ain't about titles. This is about everybody, each one teaching one, but no titles involved. Right? So leaders eat last. Leadership begins when people feel safe among their own. We want this group to be a group that nobody passing judgment. We own it providing guidance. Right. So that's our goals. And that'll start next week with the leadership part of it. And we'll dive deeper into leadership. Now, here's the framework so that people can know on the second Tuesday, that's when I'm just delivering a message to everyone. Kind of giving you some ideas and concepts from my perspective. Hopefully they resonate well with you, and hopefully you can add to whatever we're saying the next time we speak. The fourth Tuesday is a live Zoom call that we'll do on YouTube as well, but it's just us having a group discussion via Zoom, open discussion. So there's our timeline for the first 4 months. We're talking about brotherhood, leadership, opportunity, and growth. We're spelling out blog, so people can understand what portion and what goes well with each. Then we'll break off. When we get to opportunity, that's going to be an interesting one because I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's going to be very interesting because it's a different turn on that. But brotherhood isn't missing. It's been unstructured. Blog exists to rebuild it intentionally. We're not to repeat the cycle. We don't want people repeating cycles. We're here to improve the process of manhood. This blog, this is brotherhood, and this is only the beginning. So, guys, I'm hoping that this makes sense to you. I'm hoping that you can find in your heart to share this with other people. This is a community for 19-year-olds plus. We're going to add some structure, accountability, and growth, and we want to help as many people as possible. So join us in building, join us in conversation, join us in making a difference. Join us in asking the questions that other folks probably that you want to ask, but guess what? Nobody answered. That's what it's all about. Now, let me see if I can pull my Facebook page up, head it up somewhere, and that way y'all can kind of see what blog is and how to get there. I call Blog Network Aligning Bridges for Impact. Let me stop sharing my screen. We're not here to repeat. Okay, I already said that. So let me stop sharing and reshare something else. There we go. All right, that's my Facebook page. That's the Facebook page of growing. I will try and work on some other things later on, but I got to get up to 100 followers to do a live inside of here, posting different stuff inside of there as we go. We do have a survey to kind of hear more about what you would like to hear about, and I'm not just talking on top of my head or just telling you my thoughts only. But we are looking to grow and we're looking to help as many people as possible. So please, please, please take the survey. I got myself as the mindset coach because we got to change a lot of people's mindsets in order to be better. I'm not going to give you a long laundry list of me, but I am an educator, mentor. I do inspire to help folks be the positive difference in this world, and that's our goal. So this is what you need to search. Right? The blog network, aligning bridges for impact, right? Brotherhood, leadership, opportunity, and growth is what it's all about. And we want you to help. There's the link. That's one way to use it, or you can just search and then join the group. I already got 29 followers. So please, please, please pass the word. I appreciate everyone for your time. Thank you for sharing this YouTube video to whomever you know that may can benefit from this. We definitely want people to join our community, work with us, let us work with them. It's no charge. We're just trying to find a way to be the positive difference in the young men lives that's 19-year-old and above. Again, I do have Lions League at my school that I'm going to start in my program. I do have I'm the Fellowship of Christian Athletes sponsor as well, and I'm a senior Army ROTC instructor. So I'm definitely doing a lot right now on my plate. But you know what? It's never enough. It's never too much. It's never, it's not a time to stop. It's a time to continue to go. And that's what I've been doing. So hopefully you find this information to be very useful. It was off top of my head. It's for you. I hope it benefits you. I'm closing some screens out. I got so much stuff open. It's ridiculous. All right, trying to get cleaned up over here. But looking forward to hearing more from you. If you're looking for it, you can join Investing Now. This is our YouTube channel. Definitely click it, subscribe to it. I'm doing push-up channels. I think I did 166, day 166 or 50 push-ups. I started back planks, and my body is gonna transform because I am starting to lift light weights. I ain't lifting no more than 25, 30 pounds right now, dumbbells, but only dumbbells workout I'm doing. And I'm enjoying that journey already. This is my second week. I'm also fasting. I'm going to seek fast. So anybody that want to fast, you can reach out to me via this website on Blog Network, and I can tell you more about it. I do have another group, Why Wait to Be Great, Invest Now, Grow Your Future. That's another website that you can really reach out to me. We have more followers in there. However, I've been doing this for a long time. I just had to step away for a good minute because I had school. Now I'm finished with school, so now I need to get back on the mission that God had for me. And I hope this really makes sense to you and resonate well with you. So looking forward to you all joining more, sharing more, and passing the word about what we do.